Hello and welcome back to the haunting of Mallory Mergaut. I think I can hopefully safely speak for everyone when I say we're all happy to be telling this story with you this evening. But today is 9/11, so in acknowledgement of that fact, I wanted to just take a pause for a few seconds before we introduce the cast. And having taken that time, we will jump right into the story for you all this evening. I'm just going to go left to right on my screen because that's easiest for my brain. So we will start with you, Aries. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Agent Bear or Aries, and you can find me here most of the time on the Beer Pen, where I am a storyteller or I play in the games. And I'm the storyteller for Blood in the Bayou here as well. We'll start that up again in November. You can also often find me on the Twitch channel Kira 858, where I play GCDS, but did not this morning because I have been going through a run of insomnia and I passed out for 3.5 hours when I shouldn't have. But I'm awake and here. And you can find me on Twitter at the Adrian Bear, where you can catch up on random things that I post or shows that I'll be in, or most of the time, funny memes.
Excellent. Well, Megan, you're next on my screen. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about you and what you've been up to.
Hey, I'm Megan. You can always find me on Twitter at QuiNot. Every other Friday, you can find me at the Lawful Geek doing our peanuts where we jump from system to system. Right now, we're in Scion Hero. And occasionally, I'll start streaming again here. It's Murphy Pop Art. I'll do it. I promise I'll do it. No one cares but me, but still, like personally, I want to continue doing it. It's drawing and chill stuff. I'm saying this more for me. So now I have to look at myself and know I said it. So, Megan, do it.
I just want to tell you, I did the same thing for months and I finally
Mm.
did start streaming. So it works.
Okay, I like this. Okay, this is good. All right. Hear that, Megan?
You'll get there.
All right, I'm cool.
And excellent. Now that you've put it out there, we all can also bother you to go do the thing.
Oh no.
I
That
just
is-
followed
that
you.
is-
Oh
I just
no.
followed you.
Okay.
So
Okay, I'm gonna do it. Thank you. I like a little tough support. I like that.
that is now our dastardly plan. Excellent. Well, Eliza, you are next on my screen. I almost did it, but I didn't. I don't know
Almost
why I always want to do that. Please go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right. Hi, I'm Eliza Pearl, Aliza, and then Pearl. And I'm an actor, streamer, TTRPG player, and GM, improviser, writer. I do a lot of stuff. And soon to be audiobook narrator for TTRPG books. And yeah, you can find me mostly on Twitter and Instagram at Eliza Pearl. I'm also streaming on my channel, Appease Eliza on Twitch, and also on my improv group's channel, Ripley Improv. We're also doing a season 2 of our improvised medical show called Heartbeats that opens this coming Friday, September 17th. And what else? I DM Lords of Faerun with Ree and Jesse, with Ree and Aries as players at the table. It's a very fun D&D 5e campaign that we have going. I GM a lot of stuff and I stream a lot of stuff. So just check me out, I guess, if you like this game or not, whatever. Just enjoy this game. Live your life. Drink some water. I love you. What's happening?
Excellent. I agree with basically all of those things. Ree, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what you're up to?
Hello, I am at Big Dude Re on Twitter. If you want to follow me, I do a lot of wonderful things. I am currently playing a number of wonderful characters over on the Kira 858, where I also play a character in Lords of Faerun, which you should definitely check out. And today I am hoping to guide some people into the wonders that is other spirits and how they're just like us.
Mhm. Thoughts, feelings, existing on other planes. Yes,
They're
very,
just
very
like us.
similar.
Everybody has them. Who needs them?
Well, last we left off at and this is my thumbs up and nod of acknowledgement to the person or peoples behind the screen. You have no idea how many of them we have. There are people doing some lovely tech directing stuff for us, which we very much appreciate. Um, Last we left off with our story. The party had entered the gardens and discovered a murder that they were certain must have happened in the 30 minutes or so since they have visited the manor, which is not a lot of time for people to be running around doing murders. They are very prepared investigators who took the necessary precautions, as well as phoning in a call to a senior lieutenant at the local police station to ensure that his anonymous tip that kicks off this investigation doesn't actually happen for the next couple of hours um, while they take appropriate care with the crime scene to do an investigation of their own. The very last thing that we noticed is Beatrix and Dr. Doro, excuse me, had both recognized that the uh, gardener that recently passed away carried upon him some artifacts that could match a mage's tools. And with that, I will turn it over to my investigators. What would you like to do next?
Are
This
we
is good.
planning on following those trails, or are we gonna leave that to police and just do our job here, right?
Did it stop at where the like it looked like there was like a spot where it stopped, right?
Yeah, it appears that at some point the trail leaves off at a hedge that borders with a neighboring road. As you leave the gardens and follow all the way to kind of the edge of the property, they pass through some hedges, left like some small markings of their passage, with which Idris was able to pick up on, and then disappeared into the night somehow or some way.
Hmm.
Well,
Well, if
yes.
you, I'd
I was
like to
just going to
follow.
say, I think we should follow. We also should do some research on these tools, but maybe we can do both at the same time.
Well, I'm not sure we're supposed to be moving anything around or taking anything necessarily, but let's see. If I try to look at the tools with prime sight, would I be able to get a general feeling of the kind of magic that this person might have done?
That's a very good question. Why don't you go ahead and roll Arete for me, and we will find out. This is a very reasonable thing to do.
What's the target?
Just tell me how many successes. Oh, the difficulty will only be 3 because you're activating a sight power.
Okay, 2.
2 successes. Excellent. Okay, so you broaden your mind looking for the various different signals of magic. Prime can see, um, like, without getting too specific, some of the resonances of magic that can be left by many other different kinds of things. With what you're able to sense from it, um, it seems like this was someone who probably employed um, like forms of magic that were very heavily into rituals. Um, and as a member of the Thanatos, you would know that these kinds of tools are actually very common with some members of your tradition, and they
Okay.
can be common amongst um, orphans or people without a tradition as well.
Okay. Hmm. Well, it's a little bit difficult to say, I think, but this, just judging by what he's been using here, he's either someone without a tradition, maybe, or possibly also Euthanatos, maybe. Definitely, folks like a lot of rituals, but I'm not picking up the vibe of like Order of Hermes or anything like that, from what I can tell. I mean, man's not carrying around any, ritual chalk or anything, or is he? Can I make an investigation on the body with gloves and all that jazz?
Mm, yes, that's not really something that anyone has tried thus far. I think people have been mostly trying to avoid touching the body and potentially moving it out of place. So if you want to go ahead and do that now, you absolutely may. And anyone who would like to do so as well, go ahead and roll wit and investigation together at a difficulty of. mm, So at the moment, you're mostly just searching for items, or
Hmm.
at a
Yeah.
difficulty of 3.
Okay.
Say wits and investigation.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Okay. I'd like to also examine it, but more from a medical viewpoint.
absolutely. You can give me either perception or wits with your medicine skill.
Okay, cool.
Uh, so zeros, unless they have a specialty, are pointless, or do they still count as two? I mean, tens now.
Um, how many of them do you have? Do you have one?
I got 2 zeros. So it's 4 successes, but in total, 2 of them are tens.
I will give you an extra success for each one. So
So
Nice.
6
in this
successes. Yeah.
case, 6 successes. Okay.
Okay.
You begin searching him, looking for items. You find a set of dice that looks like they were probably hewn from some kind of small animal bone.
Okay.
That is inside of his boot, which you carefully replace. You find in his pocket some receipts, which basically map to a purchase at like a gardening supply store. There are a lot of charges, so up to you whether or not you think it's worth sorting through the charges and trying to determine from that what each thing could be, because they kind of give you a limited number of letters, so it can be kind of hard. But you could try to do that with that information. Um, you also find a wallet, but it does not have any sort of identification on it. There is a picture inside of a relatively petite looking woman who appears a bit older than he is. You think perhaps it could be like a older sister or his mother potentially. See what else does he have? Let me consult my notes. Oh, and he has on him a note that has a something scrawled on it quickly in pen. It is a name, and the name that you get is Harold Cesar. I
The
will put that into chat.
CESAR.
Yeah, yeah. CESAR.
All right. So I'm going to make sure that I replace everything that I find after maybe taking a picture of it on my phone and replacing it as exactly as I can.
Mhm. Absolutely. Dr. Doro, what did you end up getting on your medicine check?
Yep, the difficulty was 3. Is that right?
Okay, that's a
Or
good
was
question. You were not searching for items. You're doing something a bit more complicated, but you're very well trained in it. So I'd say the difficulty is 5.
okay. Then I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, that is still pretty good. You are able to surmise that the timeline of this individual's death, like the body is still relatively warm, it fits what you would expect in terms of approximating a time of death. In fact, you think um, it's probably sooner, like more recent, as opposed to um, having happened towards the beginning of your visit at the manor. Um, and additionally, you discover that the puncture wound that killed him has um, an uncommon amount of force behind it, right? Like when you see someone typically who has suffered stabbing, as I'm sure you have before, and probably even treated these kinds of wounds many times. Typically, a human can only muster so much force. This has caused like some caving on the wound that implies like a very high level of direct and quick impact force.
Okay. I'm gonna share this info with the group. Oh, and also can I tell if the puncture wound looks like it was from that bone knife or something else?
It does not. It appears it was probably actually like a larger bladed weapon, like either some kind of a larger like hunting or bowie knife or like a shorter sword of some kind.
Okay.
Very impressive. Very impressive. Now, do we want to go after this person in this direction, or should we head back to the house to make sure that other people aren't in danger? What do you all think?
Hmm.
Well, we do have a trail of blood leading away from the house, so I think maybe we should follow that. But that is a good point. They could have misdirected and looped back to the house, and maybe they are targeting someone else as we speak.
Well, we know the police will be here soon, but that might be too late to catch up to whoever is gone. So I vote
I,
with following.
I will tell you, Sebastian, um, based on your conversation, you would recognize that they probably haven't been notified yet, and that they probably won't be notified until like the end of his shift, unless you give him some kind of a signal through like a text message or something that you're ready.
Okay. If we want them to
Yeah,
come
yeah.
faster, I can probably send a message and we can head on after this trail.
We're right here for the trail. The sooner, the probably better. If we can at least check. I don't know if we catch this. Here's the thing: I'm scared to catch this person. You said it was extra force.
And
Maybe we
clearly
can just
they
get
are armed.
yeah. Maybe we can just like just catch up, but like maybe not. Like this, maybe get a glimpse. And then you get a glimpse of them.
It sounds like we are at least in favor of running after this person.
Or I mean, running. We can like stroll after them. Yeah, stroll. Beatrix like just walks a little slow, like almost like this. Doo, 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 doo. Could she? So I know that we saw where the path ended. Is there any more there, or do we need to just kind of investigate that more? Like maybe like where the grass is, like get low and look for patterns in the grass.
That is something that you could do. You're trying to determine like a shoe pattern
Yeah,
or
or at least nothing. Even if like the blood stopped, to see if there's any other disturbance that would show like direction, or yeah, I mean, if she found any information that could be gotten
Hmm.
as we get farther
Go-
along.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation at difficulty 4.
What would that be with intelligence or perception?
I will take perception on this one. You're actively trying to notice something.
That's very awesome. Oh. 3.
3 successes. You notice that there appears to be some tire tracks on the street. Someone peeled off fast enough that they left like some actual skid markings. And it looks like, based on your analysis of the curb, they probably also smashed their rim against the curb as they were trying to peel off.
Okay, she's like legit on the
your-
ground.
Yeah. Your assessment of that is that it's most likely you weren't too far behind this person, so they left in a haste, trying not to be overheard as they peeled away.
Okay. So yeah, so Beatrix will be like, yeah, I think they took off, but their rim's damaged. That might be a sign later. I don't know. I mean, I gotta be honest, I'm not super upset that we missed them, but we were close. She'll get back up and kind of wipe off her knees.
Any chance of a paint color on that rim, Beatrix?
Oh, she'll go back down.
That's, I don't know, whatever they put on those weird vehicle things everybody's always driving around. You're not the biggest fan of those things anyway. It's not your area of expertise.
Yeah. She's like, car color?
Trax pulls out his cigarette case, pops open another stick of
Write
gum.
down car color.
Car
Thank you.
color.
Important.
Idris,
Oh,
do we see anyone else around here? The kind that I can't see?
As you ask that question, fortuitously, Idris, you feel a touch on your shoulder. But it's not from this realm, it's from the other one.
I'm gonna use my sights here. A bit. 3 successes.
You
Spirit
turn and you see the spirit of the man whose body you were just investigating.
Hello. I am sorry that your journey with us has come to its end, but do you know who did this to you?
I'm not sorry. I will finally be at peace. And as you watch, you can see the link is already kind of fading. This is not someone who still feels either very attached to this realm. Their spirit is already kind of fading. And he says, beware of Harold, the man on the paper. He's the one who did this.
May Papa guide you safely.
Many people hide many things. He is one of them. You see, the spirit kind of fades. Seems like he just wanted to convey that information to you. It's the only thing holding him behind.
I have an outward question here. When this happens with you, Idris, like, do we just usually just witness you talking to no one, or
No, what he says isn't intelligible for anyone who also can't speak to spirits, so he just sounds like random sounds.
Oh, interesting.
In this case, it probably kind of sounds like a very low and high-pitched, like humming of sorts.
Right.
With like
Well,
distinctive pauses in between. Sorry, go ahead, Idris.
right, well, everyone. Fortunately, our victim over there has found his way onto the next world. However, he also wants us to be very careful of Harold. Apparently, he is probably holding a lot of secrets, and he did indeed kill that person. So we should be careful about him.
Good to know.
Should ask the spirits first. Wipe some more dirt off her knee.
You know, it's just if everyone could just do this, it would make court cases so much easier. You know, I mean, it's just like, hey, who killed you? Oh, it was that person over there. It's just done, easy.
Well, we must be able to solve problems ourselves. We can't. We could always reach across to other people on their journey. Or breed an alliance that would be healthy for anyone.
I suppose. Should
Hmm.
we tell them inside?
I think so.
Yes.
Yes. I
Yeah.
should probably, and he'll get out his phone, start texting his friend, and you can probably start to arrive now. Uh, yeah, that's all that he'll send. Before we go, let me just see if I could do something here. Um, I'm going to take out the pocket watch, the gold pocket watch that my grandfather left me,
Mm.
and I press the button, as if to make the timer go for the seconds, but the second hand starts going backwards again, and I am using that as a focus. And I'm taking out my sketchbook as well, and some of my pencils, which are sort of my focusing tools. And I'm going to try and make a comic sketch, flip sketch going backwards of I'm trying to get when the car departed to move backwards, with my intention being to zoom up to a license plate.
You're looking for a license plate number.
Yeah, so I'd like
Okay.
to use correspondence and time.
Go ahead and roll it for me. That will be a difficulty of 5, as you're working on a level 2 effect and mucking about with time, which time does not like, as it turns out.
All right. I would also like to make sure that I have an extra success there, so I'm going to blow a willpower on that to
Okay.
bring it up to 3 successes.
Typically that should be decided before you roll. Just a
Okay.
reminder, but all good for this one. No worries at all. So as you do this, you go backwards, focusing on the license plate number, and you do sort of kind of get the scene about you. And using these colored pencils, you can see the car start to take form, the row of the hedges kind of outlining the scene, the car in full view. The sidewalk comes into view. You start to fill in the rims of the car. The rims are like sort of like a silvery coating that someone might put to give like a bit of a sportier or more luxury appearance to a rim. You continue drawing, comes into shape. The car itself looks like it is probably a sports car from the 70s, as you're kind of like outlining it. The convertible top comes into view. You're focusing on the license plate number, really trying to figure out the license plate. And for whatever reason, you have the picture of the car, but you can't get to the license plate number.
Hmm. Now that's fishy. He says this
Are
out
you going
loud.
to describe this to your friend? Are you about to? Okay.
Yeah, once he's got his little flip sketchbook there, he'll do the whole thing for his friends there. And once it gets to the final frame there, where it tries to get to the license plate, and you can see like it's not clear. Now that is fishy.
What do you mean? You think they they hid the license plate somehow from us?
Not just somehow, our how.
Oh, well, clearly we are dealing with people who know what they are doing.
Hmm.
Sebastian, your phone bings.
The
You open the
message or
text
a call?
message.
Okay.
You open the text message.
Yeah.
It is a message from the senior lieutenant, and it is a policeman giving the salute symbol in the form of an emoji.
Okay. All right. Well, cops will be here soon, so that's good something.
Do any of you possess the arcane trait on your sheet?
9.
No.
Okay. Go ahead and everyone can roll me a intelligence and occult because this is about what you've studied. At difficulty of 7.
And occult.
2.
Difficulty 7.
2 successes.
Yeah. I got 2 as well.
We in the
2
two.
from everybody.
I think so.
Ha ha! Look at that.
I don't have a
Yeah.
cult, so I
Oh.
can't roll a cult.
Yeah, neither do I.
That's fair. So with 2 successes, you both know that it appears odd if this was like magic of any kind. Doesn't really match the spell. You know, like correspondence wards would kind of just like block all of the space in general. You probably wouldn't really be able to get a picture of anything. Like if it was like a time ward, it probably would have been blocking going back in time. So like the grandfather's pocket watch would have struggled a lot more. It doesn't look like Adrian or Sebastian rather had to really fight to do the spell. So that doesn't really make sense for a time ward. It feels like it's probably more some sort of spell associated with the individual or the car themselves, as opposed to like magic being performed in the area or event to block things out.
So maybe the spell was it's just like on the car all the time.
Yeah, or maybe the person and it somehow extends to the car from the person. Yeah,
Got it.
those are the 2 options. But it definitely
Okay.
wasn't something cast recently in the vicinity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this person knows what they are doing. Further evidence.
They're used to being sneaky.
Exactly. And they came here for a purpose and then they did it and they left. So Harold Cesar, we should find this person.
Should. And we got a couple of leads now, but this time in the morning, it's around like 1 a.m. now, right? Maybe 1:30 with all the investigating we've been doing.
About 1:30 probably. Yeah, you were all coming in at midnight is when
Yeah.
you encountered Agatha. So 1:30 is a good guess. In fact, you would know exactly it's about 1:27 a.m. because you were just looking at the pocket watch.
Oh, that's true.
At least I assume that it's actually like properly set up to be in tune and set to the right time. Maybe it isn't. I don't know.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. Sebastian's very precise about a lot of things.
And imprecise about others, which is why I was checking. But completely fair. Yeah, it's 1:27 a.m.
Yeah. This time of night, though.
And maybe best for us to take some time to rest and see what we can find in the morning.
That might be
They'll
good.
probably tell them about the dead body out here, though, huh? I mean, it'd be a little rude just to leave.
Well,
We could leave a note. We could just leave a note. How about like a note, like body found? We'll catch up in the morning.
we could
Well,
probably tell him. I mean, the police are going to be on the way. He might be a bit weirded out when sirens start showing up.
Even with a smiley
we
face, huh?
Yeah.
We should tell them.
Okay. Okay. She'll
don't
wait
have
for
to, we don't
someone to
have
go ahead.
Yeah. Really, you don't want to. I'll hit back to the house.
Okay. You see that the butler was kind of hanging out from a distance to give you all your space, but he was watching you. You suspect the whole time, although you didn't have your eyes on him the whole time. Would you like to stop and talk to him, or are you going into the house to look for someone else?
I forget who else is in the house. The other staff people.
Yeah. You. So I believe it was Beatrix had cast a spell earlier and found 3 total people. So there would be expected to be 2 other people in the house.
Wow, I just had the thought. Before I walk over to them, I just say, we didn't even think maybe it's someone, well, we did have this thought, I guess, that maybe it's someone else who's in the house who did it. Maybe one of them is Harold Caesar. But anyway, I'm gonna turn
Like,
and go
oh.
to the house. Yeah, and I'm gonna actually signal for Charles. I'm gonna say, "Come with me, please. Can you come with me, please, sir?" And then walk with him into the house.
Very well.
And I'll say, we need to gather everyone in the house right here into the kitchen. There's something important that I need to tell you all.
Very well. And Charles will go to what looks like a landline phone on the wall, and he dials like a couple of numbers into it with like the spin wheel that I don't have a very good name of because they weren't common
Rotary.
when I was of an age to. Yes, a rotary phone. He uses a rotary phone and hits like a bunch of numbers, like he's dialing a full phone number. And then you hear like a ringing sound throughout the house that's never picked up. But as you kind of wait, you do see a couple of people start to file into the kitchen. They are not wearing any sort of uniform or anything, but they do each sort of have a belt that has like Windex that's kind of tucked into it. There's a couple of cloths and rags that are like in it. You can see like some scrubbing bubbles type thing. That's clearly like a bunch of different cleaning supplies kind of on their belt, and it is 2 women. It looks like they are probably related to each other. They look kind of similar, but one of them is a bit older, maybe 5 to 10 years older, and they both went to the kitchen to meet you and the butler, and they're like, "Yes, is there something that you need help with? Mess, perhaps?"
Well, no. I mean, maybe probably later, but there has been an incident in the garden. The police have been alerted. They are on their way, and we need you to not go into the garden until that issue is resolved with the police.
Oh
Unfortunately,
dear.
the gardener was harmed
Oh no.
permanently.
Terminally harmed.
Their faces fall. You see real sadness. They probably had some kind of an established working relationship with the gardener. And the Charles will speak up and he'll say, "Well, as long as these fine people don't have any more questions for you, as loath as I am to be alone, it seems it's probably appropriate for you to take the rest of the night off and perhaps tomorrow as well."
Maybe just wait
Well,
for the police to
yes.
check first, right?
Exactly. No one should leave actually this room, unfortunately. I need you all to stay in this room until the police get here and can interview you all. But then after,
Um,
yes, of course, as long as everything
you
checks
get-
out.
Charles is very proper, as always, and he kind of just steps to the side to allow you all the space to work. Very prim and proper, straight posture. He just sort of waits, pulls a handkerchief actually from his pocket, and wipes a couple of smudges off of one of the kitchen preparation tables. But you get a tired sigh from both of the women. You gather this is a large house. They've probably already been cleaning a lot today to keep them in the house at 1:30 in the morning. So, but everyone listens to you, and you do all wait. About
Each will make
20.
tea. If allowed, she'll like, it's okay. I've got, and she'll go to make like a pot of tea for everyone because that's just gonna calm everyone down.
That's
Do you make
perfect.
a sleepy tea or do you make an energizing tea?
Oh, good question. Hey, doctor.
Oh,
Should
yes.
I calm these folks down or should I get them up?
Do you have something that will make them tell the truth?
Oh, I mean, I can tell them that it will, but mainly it's just like
Don't
some.
tell them.
No,
Oh,
that's
no.
she thinks about her power. Nah, not really.
Because while you give them tea, I would like to just kind of look at them and
Oh,
see if there's
psychology.
any. Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, I absolutely can do this. And she'll be like trying to talk to herself, but like talking out loud. Oh, excellent! I have just the perfect thing for this. This is the best herbs. They just kind of like just like everyone kind of like tells the truth. Oh, did I say that out loud? Anyway, I'm just making up this tea. She's like making like this regular berry herbal tea, trying to be real cool about it.
So the question remains, and Beatrix must decide. I assume you have both on hand. Is it a sleepy tea or an energizing tea?
I feel like if we want them a little on edge and to push them over, it's a little energizing, just a little bit of a buzz. What is that
Yeah.
buzz? It's probably the truth serum. Oops, I'm sorry. I mean, just
Well,
regular
Just
tea.
like a light, naturally caffeinated tea
Yes.
that you've maybe like accidentally sprinkled some caffeine powder on at some point in time to keep you working all these long hours
She
on
has
these
some of
grueling
those, yeah.
investigations.
They're those flowers, they're buzz buttons, the Szechuan ones that actually make your mouth numb when you have it at first. That's what she
Okay.
puts in there. Just enough, just enough. It doesn't harm. It just like makes your tongue go numb for a little bit.
So you brew up some tongue numbing tea. It takes about 10, 15 minutes. It's ready to go. They start sipping on it, and the younger woman, she's probably like about 30, you would estimate, and she's like, I'm sorry, did you say it makes you tell the truth?
Oh, is that out loud? Oh, no, I mean, it's just like, natural. Don't worry about it. I mean, you have nothing to hide anyway, right?
No, but it's not dangerous or something, is it?
Oh, the truth is never dangerous.
Uh, I think it's just a certain type of herb that is it's kind of said to uh just make you open up. But it's more like a spiritual thing. It's not like a drug or a medical
Yes.
thing though.
Exactly. Thank you,
Well, it's just when you say it's a spiritual thing, I'd always kind of heard the ghost stories about this place, but I didn't really believe them, and it's kind of sounding like just like a tad, like a little bit scary, what you're saying
What are
right
the ghost
now.
stories you have heard about this place?
It's, you know, haunted people, disappearing in the night.
People disappear here a lot.
But I mean, I don't really know. I think like any one disappearance is kind of a lot if you can't explain it, I guess. But
Sure.
she
Does she
does
seem all right?
as you're
Is she? Yeah, go ahead. Good.
um go ahead and roll me a in this case this is kind of in line with like your psychic medicine kind of stuff. This is more like a psychological assessment that you're making. So I'll say go ahead and roll me a perception in medicine.
Perception and medicine.
She does start to drink the tea though. Whether she appears comforted or not, she's
Whoa.
following.
Whoa. That might be the best roll I ever do.
Nice.
What was the difficulty?
It's like very in line with the type of work that you normally do. I'd say only difficulty 3 on this one.
Wow, I got all successes.
Nice.
Yeah.
4 7s, a 10, and a 4. That's it.
7,
That's it.
10.
I'm never gonna do better than that.
So that's 7, but I'll give you a bonus success for the 10, which puts us
right.
at 8 successes.
Oh, I rolled
This
6
woman-
dice, so it's 7 total.
This woman is not like nervous, scared, like I'm worried someone might find out about this secret that I'm hiding. She's like, the gardener just died and I'm probably next scared. So this seems like a very legitimate kind of, as absurd as it might be, given that there's all these people around, none of you are threatening her, like a genuine fear for her life kind of nervousness.
Got it. Okay. Is there anyone else that I pick up vibes from?
Um, was a very good roll.
Yeah, I should have asked, like, can I just, have looked at all of
But
them?
I
And
spirit bombed the house.
But if I tell you, we might have to take our break because it would be the best time to take our break.
Yeah.
oh,
But I'll tell you, and then we'll go ahead and take a short break. The person, despite all of the trauma that all of the people in this room have been in, who appears the most nervous is actually Charles.
ooh.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to break with that note so that the players may noodle on it. All right, welcome back to the haunting of Mallory Mergaut. Our good doctor had just discovered something quite interesting about our buddy Charles the butler. He is appearing a bit nervous, perhaps the most nervous person in the room. In fact, perhaps even more interesting is that he's hiding it so well that only your keen observation seems to have picked up on it. Everyone else is completely unaware.
Hmm.
He's fidgeting with the edge of his pocket, despite a man who clearly always appears very prim and proper. He's got one hand behind his back. He slouches slightly as you are discussing with one of the maids the truth-telling tea. All very suspicious, but not that perceptible ticks.
Um, well, um, I'm gonna just kind of make eyes with everyone very quickly with the group, and then also like the last person I look at is Charles to like focus, like tell everyone keep an eye on him, and then I say, Charles, um, how do you like the tea? Have you had some?
Yes, it's quite good, and he will put it up to his lips as if he's sipping some.
Good. Very good.
How does your tongue feel?
Hmm. A bit off, I suppose, but otherwise fine.
He's had some. Okay.
Before the police do arrive, can I ask everybody, would you be able to tell me where it is that the gardener actually stays? Where is his room, and or does he have residence here in the house, or does he have a little cabin on the grounds or some such?
No, typically, once upon a time, all of the staff did reside here, but at one point in time, we were given a housing stipend instead, as well, a rather caring Miss Agatha once upon a time believed that well, it was improper to live at the place of your work and always be working.
I see. And does that include Mr. Harold?
Hmm?
Yes.
He looks at you in confusion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think we must have some of our notes confused. We had something that was mentioned to us in the case about a Harold Cesar being on staff. Is that incorrect?
Mm, I don't believe that I've ever heard that name before.
Can that make like an insight check kind of thingy?
Sure.
But at all of the staff.
Sure.
Staring at him.
So perception and empathy.
Um, that feels like a appropriate pool if that's the one you want to roll.
Okay. What is my target number?
Just roll this one standard difficulty 3, and we'll see how well you do.
Well now. So 3 standard successes and then also 3 tens. So they're all successes, but I've got 3 tens. Six
So
dice,
that-
6 dice rolled, 3 of them were tens.
So that brings you to 9.
9.
Okay. And so with this very strong empathetic connection to everyone, what types of things were you looking for?
I'm looking
Because you didn't roll insight, so you're not necessarily trying to discern truth from fact. It's more trying to put yourself into everybody's shoes. So how are
a
you?
moment of recognition of the name among anyone when I'd mentioned Harold Cesar.
Interesting. Let me make a roll. The younger woman has a moment of recognition, but strangely, it doesn't appear on either of the 2 other people, which makes it unlikely that he's actually someone who works here. But you did register some familiarity with the name on the younger female maid.
Did we in the case files get all the staff names?
Yes.
Okay, so
He was not on them.
who is the younger woman?
Her name is Malia.
And the older woman is?
Her name is Aliah. So Aliah.
And I forget if we asked this last time. What was the gardener's name?
Did you have his name? Well, I did not put on my notes that you got his name. But his name is Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. Okay. All right. So I will take Sebastian takes a mental note of that to speak to Malia a little later. And then he will say, I think the police should be here soon-ish, but so would you be able to tell me just where did Rodrigo live then?
Well, it would be in his employment files, I suppose, what his actual address was, but well, I've never really visited the man, so I don't suppose that I know exactly. Is that information that you will be requiring?
Definitely.
Okay. Very well.
Very helpful.
As it appears, after the police leave, you will be taking your leave for this evening. I will have that ready for you tomorrow morning.
Thank you. It's very kind. All right. I think that's all that we needed for now. It's just a case of seeing when the police arrive.
Does anyone else have questions for the people before the police arrive?
Oh, okay. Beatrix will be. Oh, sorry.
No, I was saying I think I'm good.
Let me just ask. I have a bit of an interest in the plants. I was just wondering, do you know what the gardener was growing back there? Anything in particular? Anything particular reason? Especially if the gardener isn't there and say there's unsafe stuff there, we should probably, roll. But I get worried because not everyone has the exact same level of like floral and plant knowledge as I do, and that can be dangerous.
Well, the younger maid will speak up, and she says, Well, he brought me a couple of flowers from there one time, but no, I don't think anything dangerous. It's not, at least it's not as far as I'm aware.
Right. Nothing like, say, like illicit or worrisome.
Well, I don't think so. Why did you find something like that?
Oh, this is just like your general knowledge. I haven't really poked around too much back there, but it's good to know what's in your, backyard.
Yeah. And then the older maid will speak up, Elia, and she will say, "Well, no, I'm not aware of him growing anything illegal back there, but I suppose if you're growing something illegal, you probably wouldn't want people to know."
That's true. I shall look over at Charles.
He doesn't seem to react.
Okay. She'll just like kind of note that in her head.
Okay. So the police arrive. You see your friend, the senior lieutenant, with them, Sebastian. He begins to take statement from each of the other people individually. Somehow, surreptitiously, none of you seem to end up in his file as people that were on the scene. Um, and none of you are really addressed or spoken to, although he does come to you after allowing the maids to go home while the butler is standing a distance away, and he will confer with you and say, Sebastian,
Damien?
the butler claims that you all were aware of his whereabouts, that you spent the uh, early hours of this morning with him, and therefore would be able to confirm his story that around the time of death he was present with you all. Can you confirm this?
Yeah. Yeah, we can.
Thank
Hmm.
you. That's very helpful.
One thing, though,
Sure.
I'm not quite sure of the connection just yet, but when you do find things in the body, the name that comes up is Harold Cesar. You know anything about this fella?
Never heard of him, but you telling me you'd be interested to know if such a person had any outstanding warrants or perhaps a residential address in the city somewhere? That'd be interesting if you found that laying around on a table.
I mean, if anything like that managed to find its way somewhere convenient.
Sebastian, I'll be honest with you. Um, Running a late night, and I could really use some coffee tomorrow morning. And sometimes I get a little reckless with one of the papers in my files.
You said the magic
You
words
free for coffee
coffee.
tomorrow? Good,
Yes.
good. I'll see you there.
I know a great little place on Rue Royale. They do the best beignets.
Oh, I know it. Yeah, I'll see you there. 9 o'clock.
Sounds good.
All right. And he will leave you to it and go back to discussing something with the butler. The maids have been released at this point in time after their names and information were taken down.
Should we Scooby Doo it out of here?
Oh, I don't
Yes.
see why not. Might be fun to leave.
All right.
Mhm,
I'm very tired.
As
mhm.
we walk back to the van, I will just say to everyone, so I caught your glance there, Doro. And I don't know if you guys noticed at all, but when I mentioned Harold, the only person who kind of reacted was the younger woman, Malia, I think her name was.
Hmm. Reacted like how?
Like she's the only one who knows who he is.
Hmm. So should we follow her? Maybe she will lead us to him.
Everyone roll me a perception and alertness, I think it is.
Yeah. Which I
Go ahead
wish
and
they
roll
had
me
kept the name the
per-
same in
per-
5th edition V5, because the word perception tells you what it is, people.
perception and alertness at difficulty 7.
Oh, wow. I'm rolling pretty well today. I got 2 successes.
2 on difficulty 7, 1 on difficulty 7, 3 on difficulty 7. What about you, Sebastian?
I got 2 successes.
2 on difficulty 7. Um, Beatrix, that was 3, right?
Yep.
You hear the voices again talking. I can't believe that she believes it's appropriate to wear that out. Well, I just don't think that you should really be controlling what she's wearing out. And she's like, well, I'm just not sure that it's proper, while meeting a gentleman caller. And then you hear the woman responding again, and she's like, who made you the king of what's proper? Just leave her alone. She's not causing any trouble.
Oh, that's some hot goss. Uh, I heard. Does she recognize either of those voices?
Mm, 3 successes? Nah.
Nah.
They
She's
seem
like, okay.
different, actually, from the ones before.
Yeah. So if you just go, okay. So I heard voices again. It's a fair. Someone was either wearing a wildly inappropriate outfit or a fantastically fashionable outfit. I'd have to see it to decide. But someone was seeing a gentleman caller, and there was a hubbub.
Hmm.
All right, who was doing these things?
She does. Yeah, I don't recognize the voices. So we just.
You all are still in the home, and you hear a large crash from the kitchen if you've moved away from there.
I imagine we would have if we'd stepped outside.
Probably heading towards
Mhm.
the car, but like I hear that crash. I'm like, okay. And she'll turn around and start heading back towards it. It's the kitchen. It's where I made my tea.
Is
Mhm.
this like, I mean, is somebody just coming in here as we're walking there and just picking people off all day today? Is this, I mean,
I think we should not have let anyone leave.
well, it seems likely.
You all return to the kitchen. And in the kitchen, you see the officer, the senior lieutenant, as well as someone who appears younger that he brought with him, probably his partner, um, staring with the butler, also staring at a large pot. It's like one of those giant metal pots that you would put on a burner where you could cook like a giant batch of chili or
Oh,
something,
yeah.
like a giant stew. It
Family
probably weighs
style.
it probably weighs like 10 to 15 pounds. Looks like it's made of like straight up iron. And it came down and made like a dent from the impact in one of the tiles. And they're all kind of just staring at it. And the partner, the younger officer, is like, just to clarify, you all saw that pot fall on its own from the other side of the room. And the senior lieutenant's like, don't be ridiculous. Someone probably just set it up in there weird, precariously. You know how it is. I wouldn't worry about it too much. And the butler is eyeing it very suspiciously.
Tris, could you see if someone's maybe that we can't see is very angry in here?
I could, but they're probably very upset. There are people just wandering about, being very loud.
Get it.
I got no successes on that actually, so no, I can't.
Oh no.
To be that I rolled an 8 and a 1, so no sights. No sights for me today. It's, they aren't making themselves very known to me, so I don't know. Could have been an accident.
It's probably related to what you saw earlier, Idris. The gauntlet here is very disrupted. That could be angering them as well.
if you all want, I could stay here and keep an eye on the place.
Dangerous.
You know, oh, go ahead.
I think I've seen that movie, and
Megan,
let's just say the stragglers always get picked off first. So
Megan, you and you alone hear footsteps coming from the staircase that leads to the upper floor in the other room.
Um, she starts to move towards. She's like, I hear footsteps. I'm hearing voices, and now I'm hearing footsteps, and I don't know why, but I'm following them. This is probably a bad idea.
Go ahead
but
and
I'm
make me a dexterity and athletics check at difficulty 6.
Oh no. I can't do it.
Hmm.
One.
One success. You feel an unseen force and presence push up against your stomach, right in your midsection. It knocks the wind out of you for a second, and you're
Oh.
thrown backwards against the wall.
Okay. Okay. So I'm not a pot, but I'm pretty sure something just kind of like pushed me or punched me, and well, you saw it, right? Anyway, I didn't do that to myself.
Yeah, we saw.
Someone's upset.
You
Is
glance
it my
to your
outfit?
left. You glance to your left.
Yeah.
You see a reflection in the mirror. Someone who's not actually standing with you in this room. An older gentleman, grayed hair, slicked back. He's staring at you, wearing a suit. Very old suit. Probably from the 20s or before.
Any
1920s. I guess I have to be specific now
Oh,
that
it's
it's in the 20s.
yeah,
1920s.
like a regular
the,
dude.
the lost run. The lost run.
Me to like kind of point at the mirror. Like, does anyone else see that spooky old fashioned guy?
Can I activate prime sight and matter sight? I want to see like any residual energies and stuff around with that.
Around. So matter and prime would give you like primal energies associated with objects. Go ahead and roll at difficulty. This is you're activating a sight power.
Mm-hmm.
Difficulty 3.
3 successes.
You don't really feel any residual energies from any object. Neither in the room in the kitchen or the parlor entryway where Beatrix was attacked.
Is prime also like what holds stuff together?
So sort of. Prime is like an energy that fuels other patterns. So like there will be prime inside of objects, right? This quintessential energy that forms together to create the pattern of an object. You know, and you've seen many different humans contain prime. They have, all of this energy that stitches the pattern of their life biology together. You mages know that you also exude this kind of energy and have it intrinsic to the enlightened soul inside of you that gives off extra energy compared to a normal human, and that is what you can harness in terms of fueling and reducing the difficulty of your spells is by taking this energy and using it to bring the new patterns and magic into existence.
What about ghosties? Do they have this as well?
They would, but it would perhaps be difficult to locate these energies without incorporating spirit as well.
Okay.
given that you would only locate their energies if they were like acting on um, the prime material side of the gauntlet, but some of them are powerful and angry enough to affect the material world without even, blending over into this side. So it's very
Okay.
complicated.
Okay.
Beatrix is gonna yell at this ghost. Show yourself, pushing people, and I can't even see you. That's rude.
He disappears from sight.
I chased him off, I think. She'll like get up, look around a bit, maybe raise her fists. He doesn't want any more of
Sebastian,
this.
Yes.
you are in there with Beatrix at the moment.
I think we all are.
Everyone has followed.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone,
mean,
go
I-
ahead and make me a dexterity and athletics at difficulty 5.
Oh no, me too again?
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Unfortunately, you are being beat up on at the moment, Beatrix.
That's all right.
Everyone else will get their day eventually.
Oh, hey, 3.
Got one success.
Got 3, got 1. Idris and Sebastian.
What I'd like to do is use. Can I subtly affect my chances of getting hit with entropy 1?
That would be an entropy 2 effect.
Okay. And then I'll just make the straight up roll. 3 successes. It was 5, right? Was what we were trying to hit?
Difficulty of 5, yes.
Yeah, 3 successes on 3 dice.
Fortunately, so you got 3 and Beatrix got 3, right? Fortunately, you are both thinking on your feet quickly enough to pull the other 2 out of the way. As Beatrix kind of expecting it, you even hear the sound of the crack a moment beforehand as the chandelier that is hanging above the entryway falls upon you, and you pull back, Sebastian and Beatrix, you pull back your companions to avoid them suffering any damage from this falling
Oh, no.
chandelier.
That's
Oh,
Easy.
wow. Thank you very much.
You
Oh.
see what I'm saying about you staying here alone, Idris? Like I said, I've seen this
Yes,
movie. You don't want to.
I would be absolutely fine. And I would like to use correspondence and spirit together to find where this ghost person is.
Okay.
3 successes.
You see the man, Beatrix, did you describe the man that you saw in the mirror earlier?
Yeah, I mean, I think she said he's a old-timey guy.
You see a man, gray, slicked back hair. He is carrying in his hands what looks like an old style revolver. And you see his face contorted in rage as he has this revolver aimed up at the chandelier.
Now, friend, I would like for us to be much more cordial than that. I would like we can have a nice conversation like gentlemen. What do you say?
You're speaking to him utilizing the spirit speech.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is
He
it.
levels the revolver at you. My daughter is gone missing after her date with this caller this evening. I knew he was evil. You will not stand in my way.
See, you've already given me some more information, and it's good. However, I will have to ask for you to put your weapon down one more time, please.
Pulls back the hammer.
I would like to use Spirit 3 to deal direct damage to the spirit.
Oh,
Go ahead and roll it. Would
It's
you like to
happening.
incorporate willpower or quintessence into this
Yes,
spell?
I am going to use, let's see, Yeah, I will use a point of willpower for the automatic success.
Okay.
What's the difficulty? Yes.
Are you incorporating any quintessence?
Sure, why not?
How many?
We'll use 3 points for this.
That will bring your difficulty to 3 with an automatic success to your name already.
Let's see. I got 3 successes, 2 of which were 10s, plus the willpower success. So what's that, like 5 successes? 5 successes.
Yes.
If they have the 2 10s, so I think that's like 6 levels of damage. I think my quick math is ready.
You assault the essence of the spirit, pulling on the threads that incorporate its spiritual pattern, passing through the gauntlet with the potency of your magic and reaching to attack him on the other side. You hear the click of the gun firing, but it does not hit you because his essence is such that he can no longer maintain his form even within the spirit world. You see the form dissolve.
All right, see you next time. I hope your attitude is much better next time. Anyway, so good news and bad news. Our friend is taking a bit of a timeout for a little while, so he won't be around to talk to us. However, it appears that our missing person went out with this gentleman caller and wasn't seen again, so we should probably find that person as soon as possible.
Idris, do you have enigmas or esoterica?
I have esoteric yes.
Okay. So, with your knowledge of spirit, you would know that ghosts often um, are attached to the material world for a reason and can often act out scenes of their past, even in their spiritual form, as they try to grapple with and discover the emotions or events that are keeping them attached to the world.
Where's the butler at the moment? Do you all know?
Is he still in the kitchen with the cops?
Do you peek your head back in just a little bit to check?
Yeah.
Yeah, he still seems to be involved in a conversation with the officers.
He's in the kitchen.
Interesting. Our spirit friend was very upset a moment ago, but it's entirely possible that he was simply replaying an action from before in which someone was shot. Well, oof, uh, depending on based on his clothing, maybe 80 to 100 years ago. That would have been the grandmother, perhaps, but we spoke with her earlier. She didn't. Things are very curious indeed.
It is
So grandma-
hard to look back that far as well, so I don't know if I could do that.
You want to try it?
He says this out loud,
I know your storyteller is asking you if that's something you want to try.
yeah, I don't know. So this is him saying it out loud and putting it to the group, in character.
I think this house is just cursed. Like a lot of bad things keep happening here. They should burn it and move. We'll put that in our
Agreed.
notes. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like no matter what happens, we put like probably burn house and move as a professional opinion.
Just a little sub note on the
Yeah,
the
yeah, it's
receipt.
the note section. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for your
Agreed.
prompt
See.
payment. Burn your house and move.
Mm-hmm.
That seems a bit extreme. Just a little bit extreme.
But everything keeps
Beatrice.
happening. Like, no.
You and Idris, given your attunement and your expanded senses at the moment, as you had to cast magic to reach through the gauntlet, required opening your senses back up to the spirit world. You both hear a woman screaming at the top of her lungs from the upper floors, maybe the attic. She's yelling about how this place is haunted and she wants to move. She never wants to live here again. They
Oh,
should leave. Maybe
yes.
even just get out of New Orleans. Go somewhere less haunted, less scary.
Yeah. Oh, is that
See,
you hear?
also extreme. Also very
Yeah,
extreme. That's
no, but
so
it's
extreme.
smart. That ghost probably should have done it. Hey, there's someone like yelling upstairs about how like they should move.
I'm gonna try something here. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'm gonna try it. So your curse ideas got me thinking. Um, so Prime is about like magic itself, and like if somebody worked will upon a place, it would leave a Prime signature, correct?
Yes, and you would be able to discern that there is such a signature, but it can be difficult to tell what kind of signature
I'd like to
without
use a combo of that
knowledge of other spheres.
and
Okay.
entropy to see
Okay.
if this house is cursed. This house is cursed, as they
Absolutely.
say.
Difficulty 3.
All right. All right. I'm gonna burn a willpower for guaranteed success. Um,
Are you certain? Playing a
yeah,
dangerous game, letting go of all of that strength in a haunted house. Are
I
you
mean,
certain?
yes, because we need
Very
to know
well.
if this place is cursed. If it's cursed, we can undo a curse.
Oh no, it's affecting us now too.
All
Huh?
right. So with the guaranteed success, that brings us to 2. So I'm
Okay.
glad I
And
did it now.
what are you
Eh,
looking at as you open your sights to entropy and prime, looking
So
for curses?
Sebastian reaches down and he's touching the floor of the house itself, and sort of extending my will and my feeling pattern into the house itself to feel if I feel a resonance of a curse on the house or the ground underneath it.
Mm.
I also have correspondence, so that should allow me to feel distant places too.
Yes, it's interesting. Um, you do not feel a curse on the house or the ground beneath it.
Okay. He lifts up his hand. It's not the house. I think it's the family.
we go
I
talk to
think
the
the
screaming
family is
ghost.
cursed. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, just having not learned her lesson, will absolutely start trying to go up the stairs to where the voice she can hear that the yelling.
I'm gonna follow.
You
I'm gonna follow her up.
you feel a tap on your shoulder, Dr. Doro. You hear a whisper in your ear. A soft voice, feminine. You should leave this place. It's not safe.
Uh, we're trying to help you.
I know, but I'm worried about you. My fate's already sealed.
That's not true. You don't have to be trapped here forever with all of this going on. Tell us how we can help
Day.
you.
One day, maybe.
Sad.
Are you coming, doctor? Oh, no, she
Yes,
stopped.
I'm coming. Yes.
Okay.
There's a spirit here that is not pushing people around, sounds
Okay.
like, and is trapped. But she
no.
wants us to leave. Said it's not safe for us.
Oh, she'll like stop on the stairs.
I asked her
should
to
I-
tell us how we can help, but she wouldn't tell me.
Ah, this is the bad kind of mystery. I'm gonna keep going. I gotta get more information.
Let's go. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just gonna put it out there. When I die, just make sure I don't stick around. Just putting it out there.
Oh, I know.
No
Like these
messy
plants are
ending.
fast. Yeah. I have these. There's these mushrooms, and they like work real fast.
Well,
Alright.
the
Not that I've
fortunate
thought
thing,
about it already.
You thought about killing Sebastian before?
Oh no, not the killing. No, just the aftercare. I care about my friends very much. I want to do a good job, so I have a couple plans.
well,
You thought
Sebastian
about-
would know that he is fortunate enough to make his home in the tradition that will guarantee that he does not stick around.
Fantastic.
Smart.
You, I'm sorry. You've been thinking about getting rid of corpses.
Well, I mean, it's only respectful, right? Like, you don't know what someone can do with your body. So, like, the quicker it's gone, right?
I
Well,
am.
I'm
Uh,
very much aware of what could be done to a body with arts. I've never once thought about how to properly get rid of a body.
I mean, I could teach you. I mean,
Perhaps,
don't beat yourself up
if-
about it. It's just a thing I think about sometimes before I go to bed. It's okay, though.
perhaps that would be useful.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta feed the
Some-
plants sometimes, too.
we
This is
all
true.
feed the plants eventually, right?
Yeah, exactly. Wow, I feel like you're not as happy about this. Like, I've been thinking about how to take care of my friends, and you know what? That's okay. I've gotten this look before sometimes.
Sebastian, you feel something brush by your ankle.
Okay. Hmm. They have cats here, rats. No.
I
Uh,
haven't seen anything.
oh, never mind. I'm not there anymore.
Aren't we all going up?
Oh, okay. I didn't know
I
if,
think so.
if
Yeah, I have no intention of leaving the group behind because this is he has no intention of leaving the group behind at all.
in that case, when you say that, I'm gonna say I look very quickly to see if I can see it. Is there an actual corporeal critter there?
You don't see it. Idris, are you with the group?
Mhm.
You can see it.
Ah,
No.
I
It's a
don't
little
see
small
anything
thing.
there.
It's the spirit of a small, tawny house cat.
Hmm.
It's a small cat. It's harmless. Absolutely harmless.
Cats I like. You don't need to take care of them. They know how to do it themselves.
Especially if
This
they're a
place-
ghost.
This place is full of spirits that are trapped.
Yeah.
What is it about this place? It's not cursed.
I
Ah.
have a speciality in art history. Would I know anything
That's
about the
random as heck. I like where this is going.
I did this on purpose. Would I
Uh-huh.
know anything about the historical construction of this house? The angles
Oh.
used, that type of stuff. Because this is an old house, so I imagined it would be historical.
Interesting. Go ahead and roll me. What is the appropriate stand in here? What is that specialty in?
Academics.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll me intelligence, academics, and include your specialty at a difficulty of not like well studied at this. We'll say at 7.
So, how do you run the specialties? Additional dice or just better with successes?
We'll say I'll give you a guaranteed success for it in this case.
A
That's
guaranteed success rate? Okay. This is my highest dice pool, FYI. And what is the number I need?
7.
7. Okay. You know, this is so stupid because of those 2 ones, this became really stupid. I only have 110 and 1. Yeah, no, that'll only be 110. So 1 success.
that's
And with a
1
guaranteed
success.
success.
Plus
So
2 minus 2, so 1.
yeah.
You know, You're not certain where it does come from. The only thing you can be certain of is that this house doesn't have a construction that matches New Orleans of any era. You're very familiar with your home city. People don't build houses like this here.
Hmm. When we do manage to get the time to actually get a breather and get out of here, I want to get hold of the construction records of this house. Because I'm wondering if it's not funneled and set up to be a spirit trap.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to use correspondence in prime to determine if we are standing on or near a node.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll it.
Difficulty?
Um, that's just the sight power, so that would be 3.
No, 3 successes.
You do not believe that you are on or near a node of any kind. The nearest presence of power like that you can find is about a mile or so away. Although you do sense it with that number of successes.
I have no idea. I'm quite curious to see what is causing this problem.
I would like to just kind of like piggybacking off of these different investigation checks people are doing, and knowing also, I'll do this in character. Okay, so we're not near a node. There's no curses on the land or the house, and we know there are lots of spirits here. Beatrix, you and I saw that the bone dagger of the victim, and Sebastian, you also found those bone dice.
Yes.
Yes. So obviously this person was trying to conduct some type of ritual, maybe to remove something from the house spiritually or cleanse it, and someone killed them to prevent them from doing that. So maybe we should look at these items again that I hope, took pictures of, because we
Did, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should do some more thinking about what these items might have been used for, what type of ritual. And I'd like to do like an occult, occult research maybe, to see if I can think up any specific types of rituals that those items would be used for.
I would say that's more of like a wits and occult or wits and research, right?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
I'll take either one, just because we need to combine an attribute and an ability.
Yep. I would love to do wits, and well, my occult feels more makes more sense here, but research is higher. Wits research.
That's okay. You've probably researched spiritual rituals before, given your background.
Okay.
I'm
then
willing to accept that.
Thank you. I'll go with research then.
So we will make the difficulty. We'll do 5.
Okay.
Kind of a standard, slightly more difficult check.
All right. 5. I got 1 success.
1 success.
Is it possible to do something to re-roll some of this?
That does not really exist. But
Okay.
I will allow you to succeed at a cost by spending 2 points of willpower if you would like.
Should I?
It's a difficult choice, but I need to make it one in order to keep the game fair.
Oh, you and your temptations.
I just really want to know what's going on. So yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'll spend 2 willpower. Does willpower get reset after each session?
You will heal 1 when you sleep in M20.
Okay. Oh, that's 2 though. That's a lot of willpower. I feel like I should just go for it though.
Do it.
As Sam DeLev says, do the bad thing. I'm gonna do the bad thing and spend those 2 willpower. All right.
Yes. The prayer beads that you saw on the individual in particular, could likely be associated with some kind of spirit, spell, connection, cleansing ritual. Those would be very, very common for that kind of thing. The dagger and the dice, not so much, although dice often involve magical aspects of chance, as it often involves games of chance in the real mundane world. So it's you could possibly consider that maybe those are being used to improve the chances of success on some kind of a ritual. The combination would certainly work that way. Um, with Given that you spent the 2 points of willpower, you were looking to kind of try to discover a potential source, right? You would know that your party has trotted through, as competent investigators, the very common things that could provide a scenario such as this, but you know that there are many lesser understood creatures of the world, spirits of the world that could have these types of effects. Um, Idris, are people familiar with your spirit magnet quality? Is that something that they likely would have been told or ascertained based on past
Not
experiences with
exactly.
you?
Not exactly. You would have just said he's liked by spirits. It's true. You know.
So yeah, you would know that there are definitely um, like other creatures or like other spells, maybe something that's like being used somewhere else with a correspondence connection to this place. There are lesser known and lesser trodden paths that could cause like a seeming curse like this.
Hmm. So, did I hear in there that this place is connected to somewhere else potentially?
It could be. That would be one way of accomplishing such a thing, right? Is using some kind of a magical or artifact focus and accomplishing the magic at a distance, placing the effect here, but the source somewhere else.
Okay. Okay. So I'm kind of like going to summarize all this and relay this to the group. Um, and say, yes, I think he was trying to cleanse this place. Someone did not want that to happen. And it's possible that the source of whatever magic or maybe curse that's affecting here is actually somewhere else.
I
I think
imagine
could
we're
be.
walking upstairs as we're talking, saying this or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
so
stop on the
long.
stairs. Just
Totally.
stop on the stairs as we were going up there. And then Sebastian says, in that case, I think we're being fucked with. I think we
Yeah.
should leave. I think
Well,
somebody's sidetracking us.
we
I would
might
like
need
to
to
use
leave to find
correspondence.
what's going on.
I'd like to check to see if there is another connection to this place using correspondence.
Okay, go ahead and roll me correspondence site. So difficulty 3 should be fairly easy for you.
3 successes and one of them is a 10.
You expand your senses. So total of 3 or total of 4?
4.
Total of 4. Excellent. You expand your senses outward, looking for correspondence connections. There certainly was one, although you can sense the effect of the spell is fading as things do when they wear off. Time limits are hit, caster perishes, etc. You do not sense anything other than this recent and departing correspondence connection. There are otherwise no links through space from this place to another.
Well, unfortunately, I don't sense a connection to anything.
Hmm.
like
It could be
maybe
something someone's
somebody,
doing.
yeah, someone's
But
benefiting from what's happening to this family and has an
Mm.
interest in it continuing.
Yes.
How about we head to our hotel and see if we can maybe find something on the internet about this Harold Cesar.
We could also follow up with the younger woman. Like we could, do we know where she lives? Maybe she'll talk when she's not around others.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a
Yes.
good plan.
Yeah. Also, I guess leaving this house is probably good. Hey, do you think we can? Should we try? Because now I'm getting really concerned about being able to leave here. I shall start going
Let's-
down the stairs.
Let's try.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Back down the stairs.
Yeah. we had a good stair talk. Good stair talk,
Mhm.
everybody.
You all go to leave.
Mm-hmm.
As you push on the front door, it does not yield to your force.
Oh no.
At least you don't think it's going to. But you know, those old wooden doors, it just takes a second. You push and
Ah.
make your way out.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Wop wop.
Beatrix is rocked.
no, I feel a little on edge. Like, all right. Don't tell me that being around the spirits or anything this nervous.
A spirit punched me. A spirit punched me. I mean, the whispering was kind of a lot because I'm not used to that. But then I got like punched. And then they tried to drop a chandelier on us.
They
Mm-hmm.
did.
Well,
So, I mean, I
regular
guess
people
I
do
am a
both of
little
those
on
things.
edge.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You know, sometimes people get upset. That happens.
But I've been upset and I've never tried to drop a chandelier on someone.
Yeah, it's a pretty
She has a
extreme-
point, Idris. I mean,
Mhm.
It's pretty extreme.
You haven't felt like dropping a chandelier on someone yet.
he has a point,
Is
Beatrix.
that an insult? Or is that a
The
compliment?
future, we don't know what the future has in store. You may want to drop a chandelier on someone tomorrow. You never know.
Oh, I mean, I'm getting there.
See?
I guess I'm driving and she'll like get in the car. Let's go.
Let's go to the hotel, and I need to check in
You-
with my people back home. So yes, let's go.
Oh, you mean the
You-
hospital?
Yes, the center. We don't call it. We're not allowed to call it the hospital. The center.
Are we aware of it, or are we not aware of it?
You would know what I do. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So you all would be familiar that Dr. Dodo is a doctor. She really does this like psychic surgery type of thing. She's kind of like the medical medium, if you've heard of that, where it's not really medicine, but it's kind of like kind of supposedly spiritual in a way where she heals people with her mind. And she has a large following. They call her Dr. Dodo. She wears a white lab coat, but she's not a doctor. I mean, she didn't ever finish becoming a doctor. She studied it. She was going to become one, but then realized she didn't need to.
There's better ways of doing this.
It's a piece of paper.
you are well aware of the other powers that Dr. Doro can employ. Yes, Sebastian, you were about to say something?
The place that we're gonna stay that we had arranged for ourselves. Roughly how far is it from the estate?
I would say fairly close, probably in like the areas near the outside of town. Typically, you'd look for the nicest accommodations you could find with like balancing proximity to the case. In this case, there's like a pretty nice hotel that's within 5-10 minutes of the actual estate.
Okay.
There's like
this.
it's a bit older, but like there's old money in this area, so
Yeah.
pretty nice.
This is just a general player question. Would a
Absolutely.
person be able to like reinforce the strength of a vehicle like temporarily while they're driving if I used prime and matter? if I had 3
You
dots
would
in each.
you would need to expend quintessence in order to do it. But yes, you could put a magical enchantment on your van to reinforce it.
Would it be something that theoretically, if Sebastian was like on edge, would it be something he could like be ready to do if he sees something? Like, can I keep like while Beatrix is driving, can I keep like an active perception check and be ready to have that to go if we're about to be hit?
Yes, but you would need to spend another point of willpower just because, like, my rationale is that if you were like, I'm gonna wait for the next like 30 seconds and be ready to do it, that's not that strenuous. When you're like, I'm gonna spend like a whole 10-minute car ride completely on edge, ready at a hairpin's moment's notice to cast a spell, that's gonna affect things a bit. But you could keep this idea in the back of your head and try to fast cast a reaction to it, which just increases the difficulty of the spell by a little bit, but will allow you to do it very, very quickly.
Okay, all right. Then we'll just drive.
Yeah. So that's just something to keep in mind, and for everyone else as well. If you have something that's like a bullet's being shot at me, but I have like a spell that I want to do in reaction to that, you always can. It just like implies slightly more difficult casting because you're trying to like, hey, that person just pulled a gun. Let me immediately cast a spell to not get shot. So
Yeah.
you all make it back to the hotel safely. Fortunately, though this idea is in the back of Sebastian's head the whole time. Your accommodations are already ready. There's an attendant who sort of checks you in despite the lateness of the hour, probably being informed that the party was going to be coming at odd hours of the night, since that was something you already sort of expected. And they will give you the Wi-Fi password and allow you to and lead you to your accommodations.
Okay.
So
Could I use my laptop and try and just get mundane research on Harold Cesar?
yeah, absolutely. And when you try to do so, you discover that this person does not exist. There is no record of a Harold Cesar in New Orleans, Indiana. He has no Facebook page. He has no Instagram page. He has no Twitter. There are no news articles about him. There are no records of him attending any local school. Um, there does not seem to be a Harold Cesar.
So potentially fake name or very cautious person. Could be either.
Yes.
Interesting.
You would be well aware that typically only suspicious people are that clean, or people
Mhm.
with fake names.
Out of curiosity, could I use correspondence with like remote viewing just to check in on Malia? I'll take up a sketchbook and just see what she's doing right now.
You have a
Correspondence
picture of her face. So you may do this. You will only need one success, but you will need to do so at a difficulty of 7. This is hard. You've only like met this individual once.
I want to try. I just want to see if she is in danger because she's the only one to react to Harold's name. Haha. Excellent. All right. For a moment, I thought that one was a 6, but that one is a 9. I have 1 6, 1 4, and 1 9. So 1 6 8.
One success.
Yeah.
You begin sketching, and the image starts to form, and you get a picture of Mulia. Clearly her. She is sitting on a bed with blue bedding and crying currently.
Okay. Can I continue the sketch a little bit, try and widen out my view of the room?
You only got one success, so doing so would require trying the magic again or spending a point of willpower.
I'll try again. Yeah. Could I there's the ritual versions of things, correct?
Yes, you're going to forego some sleep and attempt to work on this for a
Sebastian,
while.
what is sleep?
Very well. How many points of stamina does Sebastian have?
I'll tell you in a second. 2.
You will be able to do this. You will need to roll stamina if you want to go for more than 2 hours. So you will be able to roll twice and accumulate the successes at difficulty 7.
Okay. So let's see. Okay. So we're on 2 successes on the first roll. I'm gonna try that stamina roll. See if I can keep going, because so far I'm only on 2 successes.
Okay.
What do I need on the stamina?
First, the difficulty will be 3. So you have 2 dice and you need to get at least 1 success on 3.
Then I have 2 successes on that. So,
So you
I
can
can attempt
continue.
another roll, right?
Mhm.
Another
you
one
know-
roll.
Yeah. You know, the longer you keep going, the more difficult it becomes.
Yeah. I just lost all my successes. I think. No, I did not. Sorry, that's not a botch. That's a 0. Okay. So I'm still on 2 successes. I'm gonna try, keep pushing it. I'm gonna try one more stamina roll to keep pushing it,
Okay.
because
The
this is what he
difficulty
does.
this time is 5.
I have a success. Come on, give me just 3 successes on these friggin' dice. I want the good picture of the entire room. Okay. One more success. I'm gonna stop there. So 3 successes total for this ritual.
Okay. You zoom out from the image, and the woman fades into the background as you turn the page. And here, to find, you do so through a window. Instead, you see some numbers. 6001, a large building that she's in. You see her through one of the windows. Keep sketching. There's another building and another building. Finally, corner of the block. Downman Road.
How do I spell that?
Street sign. Downman, Downman Road. A street sign in the corner of the picture.
All right. So I'm guessing like this in total took like 4 hours, something
Yeah.
like that, right? So it's now probably 7 in the morning.
I feel like at
It's
some point
6
there
in the
is
morning.
like a note in a tea bag slid under your door, and it just says sleep. Oh no, it says
A
your
second
mom
note
says
follows.
to
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah. Your mom
Yeah,
says.
your
I was just
mom
about to
calls.
say.
Sleep,
Your mom
sleep,
says, "Please
so
sleep."
I can sleep. Okay.
I did my due justice. I can go to bed. It's fine.
I told him.
It's perfect. I love it. All right. So after all of that, being that it's 6 and he doesn't necessarily want to wake his friends, do we have a group chat? Do we all have cell phones?
I think everyone has some kind of a cell phone, right? Idris, were you did you take up one of these annoying buzzing devices when people told you to?
Yeah, he used the cell phone before he awake. Pretty much right. He prefers just having spirits deliver messages for him.
Okay. Sebastian can't do that. So he's just going to add in the group chat there, I got the address, and he'll put the address of Malia. I'm hoping maybe you guys have set your notifications off while you're sleeping. And then he's like, I'm meeting uh I'm meeting the detective for a bit more information in the morning. And he's gonna go to sleep then. Try and catch at least an hour and a half so that he can be his usual tired self when he's at the meeting.
Does that reset any willpower?
No, absolutely not.
Ah!
On brand,
I was like-
on brand, on
Yeah, I was like,
brand.
oh no.
That's fair.
Sebastian, or go ahead and roll me a stamina check at difficulty 5.
Okay. No successes.
It's about 8:30. You all have awoken when you realize that your boy Sebastian has a meeting to get to, and you haven't seen or heard from him since the text he sent to the group chat at 6 a.m.
I'll just go to his room and knock on the door.
You hear a buzzing coming from it. Mm, 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 mm.
I would like to use correspond. I would like to take. Idris will take out his phone and find like the most loud and obnoxious song ever, and use correspondence to drop the phone directly onto Sebastian's face from outside the room.
You hear something playing. It's from like a 2000s kind of style rock band. There's something about a photograph, and every time you look at it, there's some laughing, and that's what you get on your face as you awaken. Two
I'm
and a
gonna
half
say this
hours
is not
later.
this is not the first time that Idris has had to do.
Absolutely
No.
not. No.
The first time was definitely like a screaming, shrieking spirit of some sort, and then it was like we agreed on the phone after that.
It's an HR meeting.
You figured out that if you want to wake him up immediately, you just play Pitbull, but then he wakes up really angry.
An elaborate system of adjustments.
It's like the episode of How I Met Your Mother where you have to like adjust for what kind of alcohol you need. You need to determine the song based on the mood you want Sebastian to arise in.
He'll get up very quickly, clean the face, just like get something on. He gets ready very quickly because this is how he lives his life. But he still looks really good.
Is someone driving you there, or are you driving yourself?
Uh,
Are you all going to go together? I guess I should ask, and just hang out at this place, or you're gonna allow Sebastian to go on his own?
You said there's beignets?
oh yeah, it's a real good place.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
I'm coming.
If we're invited, then I would also like to go.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll
good
stay
breakfast,
at
good
another
coffee,
table.
good beignets.
I'll be barely suspicious.
With a dot and drive, and wait, you don't have the drive skill, do you, Beatrix?
Oh no, wait. Wait, I think I really gave her one dot. Wait, where's the
Yeah,
dot? Oh,
I remember.
yeah,
that
I
from
do.
last
I do have a dot
Yeah.
in drive.
With your one dot and drive and beignets' motivation, you all
Yes.
managed to actually make it to the place 5 minutes early.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Sebastian,
also
you go ahead.
okay.
Girl.
I by this point I will have checked in with the center, and my managing director just to make sure everything's okay. Am I needed? You know, I will have called in the morning when I woke up probably.
Text back says, you're absolutely needed, but we can make do without you. Wish you were here, though.
Okay. Well, this case is
And then
pretty.
there's sorry to interrupt, but there's a second text after that, like, need help with anything?
I don't think so. Does my managing director have any skills that are related here?
Maybe. Depends what you ask them to do.
Can you look up someone named Harold Cesar. I don't know.
You get
Just that name. Look that up, name up.
you get a thumbs up back.
Okay. And that, I guess that's it. Beignets.
Beignets. You all eat some beignets. You give Sebastian, I assume, like a bit of space to have his meeting since it's a little sensitive, and the senior lieutenant will sit down. He's also like a bit tired, but he's got some coffee in his hand as well, and he's like, well, Mr. Sebastian, looks like you've got a ghost on your hands. Your boy doesn't exist.
That's what everyone says until somebody gets a pot chucked in their face or a chandelier dropped in their head.
I know, but I'm just saying, your boy's got no social, no registered crimes, no warrants, no speeding tickets, nothing.
Oh shit! Yeah. I'm
I know
putting two and two
FBI
together
guys
here.
less clean.
Yeah. Yeah. I just did a quick Google search last night as well, just to see, and does the name come up on like friggin' Instagram or Twitter or something like that? But yeah, like nothing. But like even record, like he's totally clean that way. What do you think that means? Do you think it means like he's just very cautious, or the name is fake? What's your take on it?
Well, if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably a fake name.
Hmm.
Might be something to look into, though. Well, so the thing is, people aren't often as clever as they think they are. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of time these guys, they come up with fake names. It's got some kind of connection to the real thing. You know what I'm talking about? Some kind of name that means something to them, or like an anagram or some type of, clue in on the puzzle, just to, you know, sort of something you can pull on a thread to get it figured out, because people aren't as clever as they want to be. That's what I do.
Can I make an intelligence and enigmas roll to see if the name is like an anagram or something? I'll pull out a napkin uh just from the table and then start working through a few.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
All right. What am I looking for? How difficult
Difficulty
is this?
5.
Okay. 4 successes.
Get out a few of them, get a couple of them that you think make the most sense. They don't really jog your memory towards anything right now, but I assume you capture the notes somewhere in a binder on your phone or something of what the most interesting looking ones are, in case you run into them again. You'll have something to jog your
Okay.
memory.
He'll also say, was trying to be casual about it when we were talking to the staff and telling them that the cops were coming. And I just slipped the name in, just, as if it was an accident, that we thought that this man was on staff and we had our files incorrect or something. Nobody really reacted except the that woman in her 30s or so, Malia. Where's her name? She's the only one who
Yeah.
seemed to show any kind of reaction.
Yeah, the other thing, I'm not sure about that. I mean, you met her. I'm sure you have your ways of tracking her down if you need to have a word with her. The other part that was bugging me is I got this case down on my desk, right? The actual murder, the case, put a some strange devices that we found on him, but dagger made of bone and some odd stuff. But
Mm.
weirder than that, I actually went and I looked up this house in the construction records, just trying to see, you know, when was it built? Did someone else have a claim or a lien or something that could lead to them wanting to have some type of foul play? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? There's a note in there from zoning director signed by one of the county commissioners. Uh, records are missing, got destroyed or lost somehow. So no records of the construction anymore, and there's just a note in the file describing this issue signed by a couple people from the county.
When was that signed?
A couple of years ago. Kind of odd though. Been doing this a while. Never
Yeah.
seen something like that pop up. Something I should be worried about.
Well, I've got an eye for the way things are put together, from my studies and everything like that. And like that house doesn't match with a lot of the way people like to build houses around here either, especially not old manor houses. Something's different about its construction. It's a bit off. Doesn't fit.
So I think maybe somebody was just trying to hide from the HOA all the rules they were breaking, or
I
do you
don't
think it's
know.
something a little more nefarious?
I'm getting the sense somebody has it in for this family for a long time.
In fact, if you figure out who, you'll let me know.
Oh yeah.
All right. Anything else I can do for you before I go catch a couple hours of a nap?
Um, just keep being your helpful and alive self.
Yeah. Freaking Jonas gonna have me on the night shift again. Somebody bailed. Bereavement or whatever. Guess I can't be mad at people dying. Anyway, I'll see you around.
All right, dude. Oh man, I don't know how it is. How it is sitting be there. Agent would say, "All right, dude." I don't know. If Sebastian would say that. Probably just nod his head.
Yeah. He just kind of sits up from his chair, downs all the rest of the coffee, which is probably like several ounces left over, just kind of sets it on the table, and he heads out.
Sebastian will make sure he pays for the whole thing.
Excellent. Well, the other things that I have are that you all anticipated picking up the address of the gardener from the butler this morning. Was that what you wanted to do next, or did you all have a different intention?
I guess he would have. Sebastian would have then gone to where the others were having their coffee and beignets and stuff like that, and relay all the information. So, what do you think our next step should be? I managed to get an address off of Malia. She was real sad, so maybe she knew the gardener well, or not really sure. You think we
Head
should
to-
check out
Yeah, we
his
can check out his
house?
place. Yeah. I mean, maybe do a little check over. Yeah, see if we could figure out like obviously he was trying to we think protect. Maybe there'll be more
Hmm.
information as to how he figured that out.
Yeah.
So you go to see the
Yeah.
butler?
Oh
I
god.
have a thought. I know it's probably not wise to split us up, but hear me out. I'm based on what the information we got from Sebastian about the young woman crying.
Yeah.
We probably want to check her out as soon as possible, but also we do want to check out the gardener's place. So maybe we go in pairs to these two places and then reconvene right after.
I will say that, like, while in tabletops, splitting the party is obviously always something that sends our signals up. In terms of your investigations, that would not be an odd request. This is something that naturally you all would have done. Like, you want to stick together, but if two things need doing at the same time, then pairing off, completely standard.
No, I
Of
think
course, what you
idea.
actually choose to do is up to you.
I think that makes sense for information gathering.
What
And it's
are our pairs going
daytime,
to be?
so I think Idris, you feeling strongly one way or the other? I mean, you're a lot better with the spirits, and that house is loaded with them. So, do you want to take the butler, or do you want to? I'm definitely thinking I would like to be on team Malia.
I can speak with the butler. People have a way of people be very willing to tell the truth whenever.
Um, I think I might be more helpful at the house with Idris because if another person gets murdered or someone tries to murder someone, I can maybe help them.
Fair
Beatrix
enough.
just like
True.
rubs her stomach a little. She's like, yeah, the not house one.
Preventing any more permanent harm to fall on people is.
No more permanent harm.
No,
Oh,
minor
Flora.
harm's fine. That's my limit.
I will assume that one pair calls for an Uber and the other part takes the van. No trouble with that. The easy part about having an expense account. So you guys pair off, head to the different locations. We will start with Dr. Doro and Idris. You all, 10 minutes away, no problem, reach the house. The butler is awake. Do you all knock on the door as you approach?
Yes.
Okay. The butler answers the door and he already has a file folder in his hand. He hands it over to you both, as well as a key, and he says, I do believe this was the man's spare key. I'll need it back as it would be inappropriate to lose it. I assume his next of kin will be informed they might perhaps need it. But for the purposes of your investigation, I will lend this to you.
Oh, is this for the house? This house?
Yes, for the gardener's place. It's
Oh,
actually
for
the
the gardener's
gardener's
apartment.
the gardener's spare key. Yes.
Thank you.
It's sort of like a emergency contact kind of thing. They have spare keys for the place of each of the individuals. He explains. Who
Okay.
work.
Thank you.
Your
All right.
phone rings as you make this exchange. It's your managing director.
Oh, hello, Cecilia.
I'll get to that at a dramatically appropriate time. Let's shift back to the other group for a moment. Um, Beatrix and Sebastian, you all come to Malia's apartment. There is a buzzer on the door to ring up to her apartment. Would you like to do that, or are you going about it a different way?
Straight ahead, direct. We're here in official
Hello?
business. Hi, is this is Malia, correct? This is Sebastian Thoreau from the investigation team.
Yes, this is she. Oh, at the manor house.
Yes.
Okay, is everything all right?
Yes, we were wondering if you would mind if we just ask you a few more surrounding questions just about the gardener and just the events that have been taking place at the house. We're still hoping we can help locate Miss Mergaut.
Sure. Come on up. Bzz, click. The door unlocks. You go up to her apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you join her in her apartment. We will leave that conversation for the next episode. Instead, we will shift back to Dr. Doro, who has just answered the phone. The managing director says, "Oh yes, hello. Good to hear from you. So sorry. So sorry. Um, I am calling with bad news, just to warn you.
Okay.
Well, I don't know too much about this Harold Cesar guy. We're definitely going to try to look into it some more. But I just spoke with one of the secretaries.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, apparently a man with that name called and he was asking some rather pressing and prying questions about you.
Oh dear.
And that seems like a great place for us to leave off this episode
Yes.
of The Haunting of Mallory Mergaut.
Ooh,
Oh no.
Mm.
Mr. Man is spying on us.
No, he's investigating the investigators. How rude.
Yeah.
It's rude. It's very rude. That's true.
Well, we will continue both of those scenes on the next episode. Thank you all for joining us. If you're in chat, if you're not following, definitely drop us a follow. And we will see you all next time.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.